And our guests today are none other than the lovely.
I'm Nicole Arbour. Hey, what up?
Hey, what
That
up?
was popping.
What's up?
And she brought
life
backup.
coach extraordinaire Katie Hagan.
Yes.
She's been helping direct my life for years, and now I'm bringing her to the forefront because she deserves it.
Welcome.
So that's where we're at with the topics were Nicole's choosing. Nicole decided, hey, we're talking about how important sex is and how your pussy ain't shit and how to train men. So red flag, red flag, red flag. That's all I heard. That's all I heard the whole time when she was talking to me.
That's funny.
I just scooted over my chair a little bit when I heard the topics.
They're fun. They're fun
I'm
topics.
scared to get close. I might get trained too hard.
No, don't be.
They are fun topics, but we want to know a little about you two before we start.
All right.
The female perspective. Where are you from? Where did you get your perspective? And what do you do?
We about
All
to
right.
get deep.
So deep. We go deep. I'm Nicole Arbour. What up? I'm born in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, but raised in Toronto. Holla.
Hamilton. That's a great play based on Hamilton, Ontario.
Right?
A lot of people don't know that.
I did not
they
know
think
that.
It's not.
That's incorrect.
Oh.
100%
I was like, wow.
lie. Proud of your lie. Good for you.
I did not
I was
know
like,
that.
England?
No one knew
Canada?
that.
Yeah, no, it's not a thing. So I'm Canadian, and I'm a comedian, recording artist, and I'm known as a bit of a guru on the internet as well.
Yeah, a
So,
controversial guru.
Definitely controversial, but I tell the
Controversial
truth
guru.
because I think the truth is what matters the most, and it doesn't matter who it offends if it's real.
You know, and I think that's where you and I connect because like
Yeah.
real recognize real. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
And the thing about it is, the extra thing about it is you don't always have to agree with everything everyone says.
No.
It's a point of view. Everyone just has a freaking opinion. Opinions are like assholes.
Everybody has one.
It's just
Some are
yours
shitty.
fucking smells like shit. It stinks. That's how I feel. But the truth about it is, like, everyone has opinion and people attack each other instead of each other's thought, like perspectives. You can say
Exactly.
something about the perspective. I disagree because X, Y, and Z. Not, oh, I disagree, you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's not a debate.
That's
and that's
a
what I love
stupid
about
debate.
you. You debate.
Well, thank you. We met while debating.
We did
We
meet.
did. Gosh, that was
Spill
fun.
the tea later
Master
on.
debating.
All the tea later.
Master debating.
Ooh,
And the
hours.
thing
You're
is,
a
your
master
videos-
debater.
I am a master debater.
He
Master
can master
debater.
debate all day long.
Yeah, even by myself.
Say
Yeah.
master debater 10 times fast.
Master debater, master debater, master debater. I'm good with the flow though, so
This
this will be easy.
yeah.
Hey, we're gonna get a freestyle from you by
I'm
the end.
so
Yeah.
down.
By the end, and then of course you brought the life coach.
I did. So, should I hype you? Introduce you? Do you want to talk? You do what you want.
A little bit of life hype, yeah.
A little bit of life
Yeah,
hype.
give it to me.
All right, here comes coming in at 100 pounds, soaking wet. To my right, we got Katie Hagan. She's also Canadian. She's yeah, always. That makes me so reggae. So we're both from Toronto, so that sounds like our city to us. And we actually met on our dance team, which is called the Humber Hype. We're from Humber College, and since then she has been my life coach. She's gone on to coach thousands of people. She's helped so many dancers, especially that went through that dance program.
That's what's up.
With their lives, with everything, men, women, everybody. She's always got the perspective, and now I'm so happy to be bringing her into my videos here today. Katie Hagan.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome
Thanks so much
to
for having me.
Imperfect
She's
Gentleman
your
Show.
Dr. Phil.
She is my Dr.
Like,
Phil. No, you
to
know what?
your
She's my Ileana. She's my Ileana. She fixed a life. Yeah.
Wow.
Blah.
Yes.
So, and here's another thing people don't realize about Toronto. Toronto has a strong population of Jamaicans. That's the black minority in Toronto. So when in America we have urban talk, it's down south or urban or black slang, hip hop. In Toronto, it's Jamaican. So the gangster talk is the Jamaican
Is
talk.
that where
Yeah.
it's because I hear it in Drake's raps now?
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's where Drake is just cultural appropriating all Jamaicans, and we just don't say anything because it's Drake. Like Drake just says and does whatever he wants.
Yeah,
Blim.
he's from the Jubrahood, but it's in Toronto.
Exactly.
And it's like in Toronto, like I said this before when we met, like we grew up with Trinis and Jamaicans, and like the culture is urban culture in Toronto. It's not predominantly white. It's predominantly the urban culture.
It is. It's very
Yeah.
mixed. Toronto's very mixed.
Very
And actually, that was the first accusation about you that I had ever heard is that you're racist. That was the first thing. Is
I'm
that
not even
you're
that fast.
Racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was cute.
Thank you.
So that's something that's been thrown around about you before. And how do you feel about that?
I had never ever heard that in my life until that female comedian said it to me that night. I had never heard that in my life. It's because it's just like, it's like saying, Nicole, you're a 6'5" Asian. It's like, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
just not. You
yeah,
just
it's
don't
like,
feel
what are you
like
talking
you are, and there's
about?
nothing to defend about it.
Yeah,
because you
there
didn't
isn't.
even. You were like, actually, I'm very open-minded and multicultural.
Like, it's not even, like, I was on Step Squad in school, and like we came from a predominantly urban school that they're actually going to be making a feature film about our dance team, because as 2 white girls going into that school and doing what we did in the dance community was huge, because we were the outsiders.
You were the minority in the situation.
100% we were the minority.
But here's the thing, and I'll say this, that actually, to you, that defends you not being racist. To me, that would make me racist. Like, if I was like a white kid at a black school, I'd be like, fuck these niggas. Like, I'd be the worst. Because listen, black kids are not easy to get along with. Like, yo, joning is like a black thing. We have roast battle now on Comedy Central. And shout out to the creators, Brian Moses and Rel Battle, who both are black. But with Jeff Ross, the roast battle is like we joan on each other. But that's like a whole attitude and culture in the hood. That's how you grow up.
This is a common thing I hear, though. A lot of people, they have to defend themselves when they're accused of being racist.
Yeah.
One thing I hear a lot is, I'm not racist. I have such and such friends, or I have such and such friends. Now, does the company you keep basically negate you from being racist if you have a friend from that culture?
I think so, yes. I
know what's the thought process there? Because can't you like one person and not like the rest of them? Like, what if someone?
I don't know. Personally, I don't have one black friend. Like, I don't sit around counting my black friends.
You got many of them.
There's just like so many in my life.
I count my black friends. I want to make sure that, I know who's in my life.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you're not just coming over to my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what I don't have?
What?
I don't have any white friends.
What? We need to change that.
I
That's
had
done.
a discussion
That
with
ends
Russell
here.
I'm
Simmons
so
about
sorry.
this.
That ends here.
If I do
Yeah.
have any white friends, it won't be white girls. I watch Get Out like
What?
15 times.
Listen.
I'm just letting you know. Like,
Okay. Latina girls are crazier than us. So
okay.
that
That's
film
true.
was
That
unfair.
can be a thing.
That
Are
was
you
an
allowed to
unfair
say
film.
that, though, because you have Latina friends? Is that your thought process?
I think that's the truth, so the whole world should say it because it's just true. But yeah, I do.
That's a bold statement.
But you
Come
know what?
on.
You know what?
They
I'll say
own that.
something. And I'll say this. First of all, Nicole's never afraid to say what she thinks. So you get what you get. This is it. Number
What do you
one.
mean?
Number two, let's not act like Latina girls aren't crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've dated Latinas. You've dated Latinas.
I believe it's
They're
loco.
crazy. Do I think that white girls are crazier than Latinas? This is what I think. I think a Latina is more likely to murder me, while a
Yes.
white girl is more likely to call the cops and I will end up in
She'll
jail
fuck up
for
your
murdering
credit.
her.
Which
Right.
one would you rather have?
Sheesh. I would have to go with the Latina, bro.
Substitution.
I have
this
to go
guy.
with the Latina. I'd rather die because it's just exciting, than go to jail forever.
And I feel like if somebody's trying to murder you, there are many ways to escape. But once the law comes after you, it's kind of a wrap, especially with helicopters.
Yeah, depending what color you are.
Yeah, I mean, real talk, like maybe too soon, but if Nicole was Nicolita Simpson, okay, sorry.
No,
I'm a
oh my
comedian.
gosh.
So look,
Yeah, she would have. Nicolita Simpson would still be alive. I'll say it that way.
and OJ would have been dead as
Yes,
fuck,
yes,
right?
that would be a different story. The
you
Jenners wouldn't
feel
have happened.
like someone called you racist, and it was in
Yeah.
the context of a conversation in which Nicole and I actually bonded. And Nicole had come to one of my shows with friends.
You were awesome, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. You should definitely come to a show.
I'm there.
And when
Maybe.
are
Let me
your
know.
shows,
I'm gonna be your
Saran?
first
When
one.
and
Factory,
where?
Mondays and Thursdays at 10, shameless plug. But here's the thing.
Hey.
What Nicole did was a comedian who was there, a comedian friend of mine, Anissa from Germany, came in and she was talking and she made a statement that I found, it wasn't even personally offensive. I found that it was a frustrating and offensive statement because she called Kim Kardashian a whore. But she said it so callously, as if Kim Kardashian, who's a mother of 3 kids now?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah,
3.
it's like, north and south and east, west, and all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
All the Cardinals.
Like a mother and a person who we know
Yep.
is a whore. Now, the word whore gets thrown around, especially to girls, all the time. And I'll tell you this, guys are the biggest whores on the planet, right? We know this, but we don't use the word whore when you're talking about Gucci Man or you're talking about even Kanye.
That's
it's
a
only
player.
Kim.
But hold on, when people say whore, is a common definition sex for money?
Yes.
Is that what people mean?
Which is where
No.
my frustration came in, though.
That's
'Cause
not what people mean. People just mean like
That's the
she's a
actual
slut.
definition.
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
she's carrying herself is slutty, which is a
Yeah.
judgmental term.
Indeed, which is where my I got to listen to you debate the topic for about an hour, and I sat there eating my soup, and I listened to the debate. And then eventually I was like, okay, this is where I got to jump in, because she doesn't understand that in saying these things about another woman like that and meaning it, like we all call each other bitches and sluts and whores as friendship things. And I'll be like, oh, these bitches over here, fuck this slut, like whatever. But she really meant it with like venom.
With passion. Kim Kardashian in her mind is a whore.
And does not deserve to have a happy life.
Tone is very important. That's why people, they get misquoted in the media a lot, because when you read something someone said, it's very different than how it was said in the context.
That's happened to me so many times. Like last week. That happened to me.
What happened last week?
It was this week. 17 magazine posted completely untrue stories about me. And they cherry pick little quotes and then they misappropriate those quotes. And it's not the first time, but to me, when it's the press doing it, knowing that that is an incorrect thing that they're doing, I think you should be fired instantly. That's my thoughts on that, though.
Well, I will say this. I don't know if you should be fired instantly. It depends on where you work. So if you work at New York Times, yes. If you work at 17 or, the Inquisitor or one of those papers, then that's your job.
But to me, it's to little girls.
To get ratings.
Ooh,
and you're
true.
Right. Like,
so wait, hold on.
We don't have to buy these things.
Is this fake news?
It was 100% fake news.
Everything's fake news,
I was upset too, because they called a YouTuber that I know. They also brought up that he's a pedophile and these things. I'm like, yo, those are big accusations to be throwing to 13-year-old little girls about somebody when it's been proven that that was untrue and that was like a fan making up a rumor. So I was just upset that this is what we're perpetuating to young girls, is to hate on other people like that, which goes back to the Anessa thing. Like, that's what upset me, was I know that I cannot be a successful human being while I have venom towards someone else who is successful because I think she's a whore.
And that's what bothered me the most. I was like, you don't know her. And as another person who's in the limelight, you would hate if someone was sitting around a group, like a table, and then just called you a whore with no basis. Because as far as we know, Kim Kardashian, while she has had sex with a lot of people, it depends on what you decide, and it's not a lot. Exactly.
What's a lot?
Like, as far as we know, she slept with 8 people. I know girls out there who are nuns who've slept with 20. Like, that's the point. Is like,
what is the religion of these nuns?
I don't think you're in a monastery, bro.
Piscarians.
You might have been in the strip club, but
no. I mean, you don't know.
She was dressed like a nun. It was Halloween.
You don't know. Nuns can go in and then get forgiven. Like, that's the whole concept. Is like the concept is this. My number one problem is that we just call girls whores. Now, I call girls whores all the time, but it's across the board. Like, I feel like everyone's a whore. All girls are whores.
We are all whoring. We are all using ourselves in some way to make
so it's
money.
equal. You're equal in your whore.
This is where I have a little bit of a problem.
Only
with the
girl is not a
overuse
whore.
Of the word.
My mom is
your
not
mom,
a whore.
yeah.
My mom's not a whore. She's a slut. She's sleeping with my dad.
Oh my
I know
gosh.
it.
Teron, stop doing that.
Okay.
That's funny.
So here's the problem, y'all.
Love you, Mom.
I'm gonna have to intervene, and
Love you.
I'm not gonna say that I'm completely opposed. I get where y'all are coming from,
Okay.
but there's something called a slippery slope, and if we keep using these terms and we use it to people who are uneducated about the term or how you're using it, they start using it loosely, and maybe that was a function
That's
of your
ironic
friend.
with the word slut and whore that is being used
She's
loosely.
really quick.
Surprise.
That was quick. Surprise. But so it's used loosely at the table. What if she grew up hearing that term loosely and now she's saying it?
I don't think it was loosely. I think it was part of her culture, that it's like, if you're not part of my culture and you're a woman who's acting like, she had all her reasons why Kim K is a whore, and that's a derogatory term to her, and she meant it. And she does not deserve her success because she just banged people, and like, there was a lot of venom. And
my gosh.
Like I said, I ate my soup and I listened to them debate, and then I jumped in. And the funny part was that I ended up getting up and leaving at one point.
Wow.
Because
Definitely she did.
You were that
like a
offended?
G.
You were that
I
offended?
did. Well,
She
here's
wouldn't stop.
I don't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. But the second that it got to her rebuttal to me saying, like, listen, this is how the world works. This is how energy works. When you're putting out that vibe, which is something that Katie teaches me a lot about, it's going to come right back to you. So you got to cheer for people the way you want to be cheered for. Go team. And her rebuttal to that was, well, you're racist. I heard you're a racist.
She just pulled it out of the air?
She was like, I'm surprised to hear that from you, from someone who makes fun of fat people and is a racist. So she
is
threw
a
in,
racist.
Yes.
and basically,
But at least she watched your video because you specified
She
that
had never
that
watched my
racism
videos.
can't go against fat people. So maybe she did watch it. She made a
She
differentiation.
said she never watched them.
She did. She might be a secret fan on the low. And a lot of people who hate on you are actually watching your stuff. They're supporters in disguise. I don't know if that's the case, but more. So she said these things, and at that point you got up and you left. You couldn't.
Well, no, this
take
was
it
her
anymore?
defensive battle. And to me, I know the second that someone gets into something like that we're not even on the topic anymore. And if I'm talking about good energy and what you're putting out,
we talked about this.
and then you're going to flip that to a self-defense mechanism. I'm going to now personally attack you and try and make you look bad to this group of people.
Did life coach teach you that?
Yes, I did.
She teaches me.
So what is this about
Yes.
energies that's so important?
I feel like, as an individual, you have to put out a good energy if you want it to come back to you. If you're constantly negative and you're constantly getting down on yourself or others, it literally just circles back to you. So one thing that Nicole does, and she does so well, is her Go Team theory, which is to support and uplift other people and constantly cheer them on.
Go team.
Go Team.
I heard you say that a few times so far during the show. Go team. Is that is that what we call a verbal positive affirmation?
Indeed.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and we call it "you little bitch," George. How did you know that? Okay,
I knew it. I knew it because Tehran always brags. He's like, "Yeah, I get this, I get that," and he does it too. So I said, "You know what? That's a positive affirmation."
It's true. Yeah. It's my mantra. And Katie knows all about that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But when it came to her going to like the racist thing, I'm like, okay, I'm now sitting with someone that's taking personal digs. I can tell she feels super attacked. This is the kind of person that's going to make a scene in public. I, don't need that kind of press, don't need to be around that energy, and I don't need to be part of this anymore.
Good for you.
This isn't good for my life currently. Do I need to be here? No. So I got up and I left.
Yeah.
And that was that.
I think people feel like whenever they get offended, they must be right, and just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Well, and on the flip side, just because you're offensive doesn't mean you're right either, which is something that as a
Very
comedian
true.
we always have to remind ourselves. But I will say this, Nicole, from the time that I have known you, I'm not very familiar with all your videos. I did see the fat one, right? Which I don't even know if I'm allowed to use the word fat anymore. I don't know what the correct term is.
I don't even know
But you
either.
made a point, and we're going to talk about that because that's a video that went super viral.
Indeed.
And it made people love you or hate you.
Yeah.
It's polarizing. And as someone who's very used to being either loved or hated, I can appreciate the position you're in.
Oh, thanks.
Right? So with the Kim K thing, one of the things that really bothered me is Kim K, a lot of people just go, oh, well, she had a sex video and that's why she's famous. A lot of people have sex videos.
Yep.
They're not famous. No one would want to see my dick on camera. Like, no one would care. I wouldn't be famous if I had a sex video.
I'm going to do a Twitter poll about that after this.
I tried to sleep with
I've
Rachel.
tried to sleep with Ray J several times. Nothing's ever come up. But what I'm saying is, like, a lot of people they discredit people by saying they're lucky or they're just this or that or they're a whore.
Yeah.
And that's why they made it. And I hate that because I want to one day be the person who's always winning. If you make fun of Tom Brady, I take that as a personal attack because I want to be Tom Brady. I
Yeah.
want to always win. You make fun of Drake, I take that as a personal attack. Now, you can say Drake is not good. I don't like Drake.
That's fine.
That's an opinion.
Yeah.
You don't have to like Drake. But if you just say Drake sucks, then
You're
clearly,
incorrect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clearly he's good.
Then you need to look at the charts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Garth Brooks, but I know he's good. I would
Yeah.
never say Garth Brooks sucks.
Right.
I would never say Shania Twain sucks, who I love, by the way. I'm in love with her.
Who doesn't, Canadian?
Well, that's
Just
symptomatic
saying.
of a positive person. You know, successful, positive people want others to succeed as well.
That's part of Go Team too, is I can cheer for you because I know I'm rad too. You being awesome does not make me less awesome. Kim K winning doesn't mean I'm not winning. And it took me a long time to not be jealous.
Love
and
that.
not
But
take
you
my own
changed.
insecurities on that. You know what I mean?
And can I drop my words of the week
Katie
right
Hagan.
now? It's very related.
Drop 'em.
I'm going to drop my gems in honor of this life
Drop
coach
'em.
sitting right across from me. See, it's not about what you did. It's about what you did with it. And what I see with Kim K, what she
Bars.
did with it, knowledge, great knowledge, GK. What she did with it was absolutely phenomenal. And if you have an issue with someone being successful, then you probably need to just have a conversation to yourself and not spread what she was spreading. So I agree
Indeed.
with you walking out. As someone who's also been in YouTube videos, now you may not know this, I do the Drake parodies online.
I've heard.
Yeah. So sometimes I see these comments, right? And they're in the thousands. And what I love is I see Tehran in the middle of them defending me and stuff sometimes.
That's cute. You guys are adorable.
No. I don't defend you.
You
Let's
defend
correct
me.
this. I defend the art and the concept. If you don't like something, just don't watch it.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks
Agreed.
for
It's very
not.
simple.
Did you just deny defending me?
And because I even dislike when people look, if someone says something racist, which happens, people say racist things, attack the idea of racism.
Oh, not the
But
person.
here's the thing. I don't have a problem because if you don't believe in freedom of speech for the people you disdain, you don't actually believe in the freedom of speech.
True.
Yeah.
It's very simple. You don't like Kim Kardashian, don't watch Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian.
And that's
Don't
why
have your kids watch Kim Kardashian.
Exactly. And that's why I applaud Nicole, and I want to get advice from you, and I want you to share this knowledge to everyone.
I'm down.
As someone who's in the limelight, clearly, as someone who has opposition, clearly, how do you maintain? How do you not let all these comments get to you? Because sometimes you can't walk out of the room like you did in that conversation. Sometimes people spit their venom all over your page. And when someone puts a negative comment on my social media page, I feel like it's an intruder in my front yard. And I'm like, get off my front yard. How do you not let that get to you?
It took a while. And like, let's say when Dear Fat People was going crazy, I turned to Katie to help me be like, no, you know who you are. And like, she was reaffirming to me that like, you know who you are, you know what you believe, lean in, go all in. Don't you dare apologize because you wouldn't mean it and that's not true. So I know who I am. So people coming into my yard and spitting venom at me now, they're just wrong. Like if there was a lesson for me to learn and maybe I did misspeak on something or if I was wrong on a fact, I'll be the first person to admit it. But knowing that I'm a good person leaves me in the clear to be like, they're having a bad day. They're taking their shit out on me. And I usually just look at them now, like the mean comments, and I'm like, they're having a bad day.
I
That's
don't
very
have a
wise
problem
of you.
with negative comments, especially if they're critique. You can always critique. It's when they're just personal. And my thing is, I don't want to live in a
I don't
world.
take critiques from people who can't do the same shit I do.
I can understand.
Yeah,
but
if
I
you
do.
haven't done what I can do, then I don't want to hear from you.
That's an easy way out to me.
Peanut Gallery, no, because there's always people in the cheap seats who are being like, yeah, that guy's
Hecklers.
swinging wrong.
Sure.
Hecklers.
That guy can't swing his bat. That guy fucking sucks. That guy makes $20 million a year.
Doing that, 100%.
Shut your mouth.
Teron,
You're eating a hot dog.
I think I'm on her side
And
of
I'll
the
tell you
argument
why.
here.
No,
I'm
no,
on
no.
her side of the
Because
argument.
when it comes to this,
Present
we're
the
not,
other side.
we're doing art, and art is the eye of beholder. So it's about a fan. So I can have an opinion on Drake's music, even though I don't rap like Drake. That's not a fair thing to say, in my opinion. In my opinion, you can say something negative. I don't want to live in a world that we don't have negative comments. I want to live in a world where people don't want to have negative comments. There's a difference. It's the ideology. It's like, I don't want to bully you into not being negative. I want you to just not want to be negative.
Yes!
That's what I want. I want people to just naturally be like, oh, okay, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, there's a difference between an opinion and a statement.
Exactly.
Yes,
And people
yes.
often think their opinions are statements because
Correct.
they think them.
Or vice
Did
versa.
her,
That is
did
the
her
internet.
words of the week just
Yes.
destroy mine? That
She
was so
just- she just
profound.
crushed
Difference
everything.
between an opinion and
So
a
many
statement.
bars.
That was great.
Whoa.
Yo,
That
I
was
will
great.
say
God's
this though,
plan.
Nicole. I hope you
God's
never end
plan.
up gaining weight, because if you do, you know how many people are going to send you that video?
It'll be
Yo.
funny,
Bruh.
and I'll deserve it though, because I will need to get my ass on a treadmill and take care of my life again. Because when you let yourself and I don't know if you ever saw the other half of things that I've done, but as someone who was physically disabled and in bed for a multitude of years, it upset me so much to know that people had bodies that worked and they're abusing them. And all I freaking wanted
See?
every day was to wake up and have my legs work and be able to get on a treadmill and walk.
But this is why I really feel her,
where
like,
it
no matter
came
what.
from. That was the source.
But I knew that if I included that in the video,
Love it.
that it wouldn't go as viral because people need to hate someone
They need
for it
it.
to go
Exact-
viral. And the most crazy, you guys, I can talk spiritual to you. The craziest thing I ever had to do as a white blonde girl who's supposed to want to be popular my whole life, like that is white blonde girls' goals in life that our parents teach us,
Sure.
was let myself be the villain, let myself be hated, and be okay with it
Wow,
because I know who I am.
You and Teron have a very similar
Batman
mentality.
shit right there.
I would. That was
Dark
very
Knight.
deep what you said. I love what you said. I want to steal Teron's words and take him as credit like I usually do, but I'm going to give him credit this time. Okay.
He
And
really,
what he
the worst
told
is when
me-
he does that to me. Like he says something, I'm like, bruh, I said that to you.
And my learning lesson was when Teron and I were on this reality show called Shaws of Sunset, and there was a lot of people commenting, and it would bother me. It would really make me physically ill to see what they were saying. And you know what Teron said to me? Something very similar to what you said in Katie form. He goes, you know what? You want to be liked, but it's better to be respected than to be liked.
Yes.
And what happened is you did something polarizing, which got you notoriety. Now you have numbers. Now you have an audience. And you took that bullet, but the outcome, if you just wanted to be nice and not speak what was actually in your mind, although I don't agree with some of the things you said, I respect the fact that you were bold enough to do them and look at the result.
No.
What
You do agree with the things she said. You
it.
just don't agree with the way that she said it. See, that's what I ultimately realized about that video that everyone was so upset. You said, hey, people, being overweight is different than being big. And so if you're overweight, there's something you can do about it. It's not healthy. We have the highest instance of overweight in this country, diabetes in this country. I mean, there are countries where people don't have enough to eat.
100% preventable. Like I'm doing a lot of writing right now on self-inflicted pain. And I think that is why depression drugs are sold constantly. That is why we are the most medicated country in the world. Where I'm sitting right now is the USA. Medicated, self-medicated from self-inflicted pain and self-harm. We're doing it to ourselves. And obesity is, I believe it's the second highest killer in America.
Is the second, and that's a fact. That's not a feeling. That is a fact.
Preventable.
And so
100%.
what Nicole just said, and she said it in a way that caught your attention, because if she said it in the nice way, the way the American Health Organization had been saying it for 30 years,
60
no one would care.
seconds thing or 60 minutes campaign.
And she just did it in that way, and it caught people's attention, and people just took it very personal, as most people do.
As I wanted them to.
So just
It was just a zombie running thing that got to me, because I was the slowest guy on the football team. I felt like I ran like a zombie.
And also,
good for you.
on the low, George's kind of getting fat. Like, we're not going to talk about that, though.
I don't see that.
Bars.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment.
Here's the thing.
I didn't know what you looked like before, though.
So let's play either or. Let's play either or
Okay.
before we get into our main topics.
Okay.
Really quick, just to get a sense of who you are as people.
Love it.
Either or, you have to choose one or the other. Quick.
Okay.
Pizza or hot dog?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Ice cream or a gelato?
Gelato.
Ice cream.
Ooh, good one. Good one. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Ooh, wow. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Stop. I can't answer.
You have to pick. You have to pick.
Are we talking like Kendrick?
You have to
in
pick.
Collard
It
Greens?
just is what it is.
Drake. Have to.
Oh, I got to go Drake, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
hometown.
aren't you from Toronto?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not even it's not even an option
But
for
is
me.
it like as a human being, as a personality, or as like, because to me, Kendrick Lamar's new shit is amazing and his last album was amazing, but Kendrick Lamar and Collard Greens to me was like my favorite thing ever. I can be happy every time I hear it.
Dreadlocks or man bun?
I'm a man bun.
Man bun. Those dreads smell, man.
They can sometimes. That's
They're like
real.
rough and
Like
fuzzy.
people are gonna get so mad at you for saying that, white girl. But
Most of them smell. Please take care of your dreads.
Yo, she's from
it's
Toronto,
Like, it's the
bro.
same as your wigs. The wigs, the weaves, the extensions, and the dreads need the same care, which is get some powder in there, wash that
actually,
shit.
you know what? I
Oil.
like dreadlocks. I'm not a big fan of like weaves and stuff. I really just wish more girls of color use their natural hair. I think natural hair is so beautiful.
I think
love
it's
it.
fun to mix it up.
Switch it up. Family walking in on you during the act or current partner walking with you during the act with someone else?
Yeah. So if your dad walked in while you were getting it, right? Getting it. And I'm gonna tell you the word. It's like from behind too. It's not just normal. It's
Okay.
like,
It's like
does he-
dirty.
does he
and
see-
you're calling the guy daddy by
Oh, no.
No, I'll cheat.
Or
I don't want my dad seeing
Or your like husband
Oh,
who was
Husband.
out with the kids all day long comes home, honey.
I know my answer.
honey. And then you go upstairs and it's like you're getting it, and it's from one of these dreadlock big black guys.
so a
With the
Tuesday,
smelly dreads.
A Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
She's joking, but she's not. So then,
Hashtag kind of jokes.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
cheat.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny.
Father of your children.
No, I can't cheat on him. I'd rather it's my dad.
Yeah, I'm 100% dad. I'm not a cheater.
I don't want to cheat.
Really?
I'm not
I
cheating.
think-
Wouldn't
Hold
even
on,
been an
hold
option.
on. I don't know what I like if it was my mom or I'd rather just get caught cheating. Like,
My
yo,
dad would know
yo,
not to walk in.
What's the word?
Yeah.
What's the
I
think my
may
dad
or-
would laugh.
I may
Catch this
or
L.
may not have been caught by both parents, and I would go with
Oh.
the cheating.
I've been
scenario.
caught
By yourself or with someone else?
By myself.
Yeah.
I got caught.
That's
I've been
happened.
caught by her parents. Which
Oh
was
no,
a
Teron has a
horrible-
story that
Yo,
will make
my
you
story
fall
is
Oh, here we
so
go. Here we
crazy.
go.
No, I
Oh my
mean
gosh.
the
Out of
quick version of the story is the first girl that I've ever
This is so tragic.
engaged in intercourse with.
Got it.
The first girl.
The first girl.
Numero
it was,
uno.
It was my first girl. This is my first. This
The
is
big
my
V card.
This is the first, like, on paper first. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
so this is the one that I actually claim on first. So she was such a good girl. went to a private school, like a religious school. Her family's very religious. She was like,
Okay,
she
cute
had never
preface.
kissed anyone. I mean, I got to put that context. It's never been.
Because you
All
look
right.
like a boss then.
And then her parents like really liked me, and they like went and they vetted. And
And he was like the sweet guy that they were happy.
And you got through.
I got through. I made it in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we were engaged in the activity, and it was the kind that I described to you in
Right,
a way.
right.
And then
The
her
best kind.
mom came in
No.
and was like, oh, and then said her name in a gasp. Okay. And then the worst part is she's like, why are you stopping? And because she didn't know her mom was in, because she was not pointing
my
the direction.
gosh.
So then I was like, and I couldn't stop laughing. Okay. Because that's what I do. I just
Okay.
started, I got
Awkward
uncomfortable.
laugh.
So I
Awkward
started
laugh. Awkward
because
laugh.
he's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
villain. You have to be
I
a
started
villain.
laughing.
Yeah.
So then her dad, who worked very far away, got home in a very short amount of time.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Came in and had a very sincere, strong, real conversation
What did he
with me
say?
about the Bible, about waiting, about life and love and marriage. And then I was walking away. And then her mom turned to the dad and the daughter and said, did you at least use protection? And then with gas and sobbing. And
Tehran
the dad
turned
said,
around and-
protection for... And she's like, they were having sex. And
no.
he didn't even know we
Oh,
were
no.
having sex. He thought we were just kissing and gave me that. He started running after me. I ran
my God.
down the stairs into my car and drove, and he chased after me like the Terminator. And that is a true story.
And then what?
And there's more to the story. Oh, he went to my house.
No.
And he talked to my dad, who my mom and my brothers and sister were gone on vacation, and my dad was actually going to be joining them. And this is when I'm going into college, and her dad and my dad had a conversation.
Yes.
And the conclusion was that I'm going to marry her.
Oh, that's nice.
And then her dad realized that we weren't the same religion. And
Oh
then
my
forbid
gosh.
her from ever speaking to me ever again.
This is a hot mess.
That is
Yeah.
a true,
Dude,
true
that
story.
was an
Wonderful
incredible
story.
story. And I just realized Tehran
And I didn't
bond.
even know about the second part, by the way, until like 5 years later when I'm graduating with my master's and my mom brought it up in casual conversation.
Oh my
And I was
gosh.
like, what do you mean? And I did not know that part of the story. I
Wow.
never knew.
You could have been married off.
I married off.
Wow.
And that day, my dad asked me about the girl, and he had never done that. He was like, so how's... and I
How's
was
your
like,
wife?
This is a great story, and
You know
I
what?
love
I
it.
have a
real.
similar story. I was chased by a father too. And I'm gonna make a quick version
That's
of it.
because you were sleeping with his wife. Okay, that's
Wait,
not
no,
the same.
no.
Bro,
Who are these
no,
people?
it's the mom.
Who
Listen,
are these
you know when
people?
it's a MILF? George is the MILFer.
You're a MILF hunter?
Oh.
I was the prey. They were the predators in my defense.
Because
The
he was
moms.
underage.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
He was
Ish?
underage.
How underage?
He was 16.
Okay.
Oh, that is underage.
But
okay.
that's not the story I was going to. Thanks for throwing all my business out there as usual, Tehran. Here's my story.
Okay.
Dating a strict family Persian girl, okay?
Okay.
So one night, the father didn't want them to have any boyfriends, any guys, but he built them this side house for them to hang out in. So
Side dick house.
girl,
Hilarious.
Yeah.
girlfriend invites me over to side house to watch a movie with her.
By the way, in Arabic culture, that's called a milhag. In case you didn't know, in
Milhag?
Saudi Arabia, they have that. It's called a
The more
milhag.
you
Mil-
know.
Milhag.
Milhug.
Yeah.
Milf hug?
No,
Where the
Milhag.
MILFs get the hog. Got
All
it.
right, so she asked the older cousin to rent us a movie. Back then, they were renting movies. And she says, I really want to watch Monsters, Inc. You know, that little anime
Yeah.
monster movie.
So good.
So cousin goes, rents a movie. We put it in. We're sitting
And then
next
you
to-
put it in.
No, we
You
put the movie
deflowered
in.
a girl to monsters.
No, listen. We're
You're
on the-
such a piece of shit.
We're on
bro.
the couch innocently, okay? We're innocently sitting on the couch. Movie starts, and she's like, hey, there's no monsters on there. It was a
And
different
then you
movie.
were like, you can see this monster dick.
The
Oh
movie-
my God.
The movie
and she's like,
was-
oh, that's like the little monster.
The movie
Mike
was
Wazowski.
Hilarious.
a little monster. No, ain't nothing little down
Was.
here.
Okay.
I guarantee there's no problem.
I'm looking at your beard and imagining it's down there too, and I'm terrified.
Oh my
Hilarious.
gosh,
so I
that
think
is
that
funny.
if you manscape it, it'll
Where
look
did
bigger.
this turn go?
Manscaping.
I don't know.
Can I
don't
finish
know.
my story, people?
Please.
Did you finish your
Please.
story?
So
okay.
the movie starts. It ends up being Monster Ball, the movie with Halle Berry.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, boobies.
We start watching the movie. Here's some footsteps. She's like, I think that's my dad. I said, oh my God, you said your dad's in Iran. She's like, no, my dad's here. She's like, hide. I'm like, hide where? And I ran to the other corner of the room. There's a little nursery for her brother, a little crib. I was like, I can't hide in that crib. I'm going to break the damn thing. She's like, oh, there's a closet there. Closet's the size of my legs. I squeeze into this closet.
Suddenly you're R. Kelly.
And then
Yeah,
in the closet.
Yeah.
And then I hear the father speaking to her and yelling in Persian. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I'm nervous. I'm hiding. And then everything just stops. And I'm like, okay. And then you hear, it's okay, George, come out. Get out of the closet.
Oh, no.
And in front of me is this bearded man with a beard down to the balls.
Oh my gosh.
Staring dead in my face like he was going to kill me. And the scary part is I was a teenager at the time, but when I emerged out of the closet, I was like the size I am now, like this huge man in his face. And he just looks at me and I'm like, he's like, what are you doing here? And I was like, and I look over to my right, I see a fish tank. I said, I'm here to feed the fish. And I literally go and I start feeding the fish and he's looking at me, he's so confused. It's actually working. And then the sex scene in Monster Ball comes on. On the screen. And I just look at him and I start running. He chases after, he chases me down the damn block. I hide under a car. My brother comes picking me up, goes back home, smashes the DVD player. And that's the end of my story.
That's really fun.
And that was the end of our relationship too.
But with all this being said,
Yes.
we do want to talk about how important is sex and related. Clearly, we've had some good experiences and obviously some bad ones.
I have a funny story about this.
I need
Whoa,
to hear
I almost
this.
fell off a chair. You can't see that, but you can in video after or on Facebook Live.
She just defied gravity.
I generally.
That was some Matrix shit.
Thank you. So only like recently-ish was my very first relationship ever with a gentleman caller where he wanted to wait. And I was like, what is this? I was like, the fuck is this?
That's the George thing.
I was
call it the George syndrome.
offended.
He
I
did
was
that.
offended.
Why do you get so
Exactly.
offended? Why
Girl
why
got
do
so
they get
offended by
offended?
George because he was like, let's
They
actually get to
hated
know
me.
each
They
other and
despised
wait.
me. They blocked me. They never called me again. Why? I thought I was
I
honoring them
blocked
by
him.
waiting.
Like
But
literally.
aren't we honoring you by waiting?
But no, because waiting till when? If there's like some kind of plan, it's like, hey, we as a group are waiting for 3 months and then we'll decide if we think this is a thing and it will be romantic and yay, cool. If it's like, I got to show up to date number 8 and I don't know if I'm getting any and this is just feeling like constant rejection. This is bullshit. Fuck this. There are dicks everywhere. I can just go pick a dick. Like, I don't know. I hated it. It was the first time ever and I was not into that thing.
Well,
That's
sorry.
how a lot of
Jeez.
guys feel sometimes too.
This is the first time I understood it. I was like, wow, you guys are constantly waiting for the gatekeeper to be like, yes, I can get some. And it's like, do you guys feel rejected?
So when the tides were turned, all of a sudden you became such a guy and you were the guy who was like, oh, you don't want my number? Fuck you then, bitch.
Oh my God, I was that guy. I was
you
a
were that
Jamaican at the
guy.
club. I'm a Jamaican at the club.
You were that guy.
Yeah.
A Jamaican.
Yeah.
See, that might have been a little racist.
No, it's true. Have you met Jamaicans in clubs?
That's actually a little more true than oh, she got us.
It's like the Jamaicans, they'll do that thing. The Ethiopian guys, I don't know if you've ever encountered them.
U Street, DC. I worked there for 8 years. Little Ethiopia. Yeah.
There you go. You know they're there because you feel a dick on your back. That's how
Whoa,
they say
I
hello.
didn't feel no dicks on my back.
Okay, they didn't think you were cute, but that's how they say hello in the club is a dick to the back, and then that's the hello.
See, that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like, where's the fine line between is it the truth or is it like
That's a little
I
extreme.
think once it happens 14 times, it's true. 14 to me is the magic number.
That's the breaking number.
So
Yeah.
Nicole, this is
That's
the
the
first
magic
time this
number.
has happened where someone wanted to wait.
Yeah, because to him, he was like, well, he's like a little traditional, maybe a little
Okay.
religious. And he's like, I want it to be special. I think this could be like a long-term thing for us. So I don't want it to just be about that. Like, let's get to know each other. I'm like, let's get to know your dick. And then my friends started doing a poll and they were like, either he has an STD, he's banging someone else, or he has a tiny little dick and he's trying to hide it for
No
as long
one
as
thought he was
possible.
gay?
That came up too. But then it was ruled out.
Or maybe he was just a decent fucking human being and wanted to
Nah.
actually get to know you.
I don't
Nah.
know.
With
See,
you
Katie
spiritually.
was like,
Nah.
I listen, I just got a text where someone asked me if I was abstinent and I said, no, bitch, I'm just picky. And that's the realest shit because it
Bars.
just depends.
Okay.
It just depends on like, I need to be
All right.
certain. There are other factors that go into it with me personally. I do want to point out that not all Jamaicans call girls bitches and not all Ethiopians
Thank
put
you.
their dicks on girls' backs.
a lot of you in the clubs do. Not all Jamaican guys, but that to me is, I guess, because where I grew up was a very, and when I was in Jamaica, I have a large
In
fan
Jamaica.
base in Jamaica, which is sweet. I did club appearances and stuff there,
Yeah.
and they even backed me up on that one.
Okay,
They were like,
in
yeah,
Jamaica
you're right.
maybe because I've seen the twerking videos and that shit is they go crazy.
amazing.
Bro.
Yeah.
I see in a lot
Whatever.
of in the Caribbeans. I see a lot of videos on World Star, and they're like little kids freak dancing. Is that normal?
It's amazing. So I have a question though about the same thing for
Please.
you. So when does it go from he's a nice guy to when do my needs matter?
It's a conversation. And the conversation is this. It needs to be something that's talked about. And I say this to girls all the time. When you use it as a prize, as if you've been good, now you get this prize, or you use it as a punishment. Well, you've been bad, so now I'm taking this away. Ooh. That's when you've now become everything we think of a whore or that is essentially a conversation. You are now using this as a way to get something you want. Because you did well, you bought me X, Y, Z, took me to ABC, now you're getting this.
Got a fancy purse, but they got nothing in it.
What is that called? It's and this is what I told my sister. Now, if it's like priceless art. If you have priceless art and you know when they auction it off at Sotheby's or whatever and it's $100 million, that's a high price to pay. But anyone who has $100 million can buy it. Yeah. So anyone who does this, and this and stays with you for 3 months and takes you to this many dinners and will get it. Yeah. Well, the concept is when something's priceless, do you know what they do with it to maintain that it's priceless?
What?
They simply donate it to the most worthy.
Wow.
And that's something that we need to do with sex.
Let's start donating our vaginas.
Donating the vagina.
You need to the one who's the most worthy. That way you never end up regretting it. It's never a regret.
Interesting.
Because you know
So what would you say to this guy? What would you? So we did end up sleeping together. We stayed together for a while. The first time.
First time is usually. I mean, unless you're.
The first time was very vanilla.
I feel like you're not going to buy a car unless you test drive it. That's how I feel. And it relates to the other side as well. So if you are going to have a good relationship with someone, you have to have not necessarily amazing sex or that really intense, but you have to have a connection. And
100%.
And that's
it did get
if
much
you don't
better.
test drive that, then you ain't going to buy the car.
So
True.
fellow millennials, is the whole wait for marriage thing just completely out the window now?
Bullshit.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think
You
it's
heard
a
it from
decision.
the life coach
Gone.
show.
I think it's a decision. I think I can decide to do anything. So if I decide I'm going to wait until I'm married to this person, sweet.
Exactly. It's a conversation, though. It's
both
something that
people
you
to
say,
decide.
hey, this is what my reasoning is. And this is what I often also tell girls is I understand if you don't like something I've decided, you can just not deal with it.
True.
It's that simple.
Go somewhere else.
I
Go somewhere
can't be
else.
offended. This is the problem is when people, I make a decision, now I'm trying to enforce that on you and you have to agree to it. You don't agree to something, you can also leave or I can leave and not take it personal. Or more importantly, take it personal, but understand why I'm leaving. I cannot like something, but not hate you for it.
So would you
That's
date a
what
girl
it
for a
is.
long time? Like I'm going back to the same dude because in his mind, he's like, well, it's just not that important to me in the scheme of what a relationship is.
Oh my gosh, she sounds like me. I was with a girl for 3 years and didn't have sex.
What?
Oh my
What?
God.
What? Why?
I can't.
It's true. It's
Why?
true.
Because he went through a transformation.
I went through a transformation,
And
a
he decided
spiritual
not to have sex.
cleansing.
Okay.
You- was
And actually,
celibate.
I must say, by doing that, I learned. For me, it was a growing process, just as a man, as a partner, to really learn to appreciate things outside of sexuality.
Oh,
I
okay.
think a lot of the influences around me growing up, being in the hip hop scene and being in television, it was like very sexualized.
Yeah.
And I noticed that was.
What do you mean? What's sexualized in hip hop, man? Baby got back. So what?
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
the back
Pussy
is
ain't
great-
shit. We'll talk about that
And we're
another
gonna
time.
get to the pussy
Yeah.
ain't shit, but that they're like,
Yeah.
your pussy's so good, I could fuck you. I'd lose my job
Well, how
if I
far?
could.
How far did that go? Like, was it complete abstinence?
years.
Like, you can't touch each other, you can't touch
we
yourself.
did
Like,
stuff,
what do we?
We did stuff, forms of affection. I like
He
to
blue balled his way for 3 years.
ball.
He's blue balled his way for 3 years.
Wow.
They so blue, they black.
And it was also her preference when we started dating. She actually said to me, "I want to be a virgin till marriage," and I respected it. I said, "Well, if I like her this much,
Exactly.
I'm not going to let sex stop me from being
Are you
with her."
still with
Exactly,
her?
and that's why God invented anal.
We
Touche.
wow, I don't have a response to
I
that.
didn't know how to
John.
respond either, so I went with it. That's what I usually do. I just go with it.
And you asked me, "Am I still with her?" Well, the story ends. We're not together anymore. So take what
So
you
the
want
balls
with
are
But
that.
there are
blue.
girls that have broken up with him for not having sex. That is a true story. He
1000%,
didn't have sex with
yeah.
certain people, whatever. Shout out
It's
to
taken as
MJ
rejection.
And to number 23.
Because of how we're trained,
Just never had sex with them.
we take it as rejection because of
Yeah,
the way
it
that
doesn't
we've
feel
been
good.
trained. It's like, oh, you don't think I'm pretty, you don't think I'm hot, you don't think I'm attractive, you don't want this with me.
That's what I've learned in my dating experiences. The worst thing you could do is to make someone feel rejected.
Yes,
It is the
Absolutely.
worst.
It's
It
the
is
worst.
the worst. If you
Absolute
reject
worst.
someone sexually, especially a guy, they will find something else. And that's why girls will be like, oh my God, I can't believe he cheated on me with so-and-so. She's so ugly and short and fat and blah. And it's
She
like,
was
yeah,
in.
but she sucks balls with both hands. And guess what? She does anal. Like, she does the things that you made him feel dirty about.
Right.
And vice versa. If you do that to a girl, girls, hell, have no scorn like a woman. Fury like a woman scorned, but the worst is a woman who's rejected becomes Nicole Arbour.
Dun, dun.
That's the thing.
No, like, well, this was like a while back. That has nothing to do with like my videos or anything, because this was more like in
Sure.
the more recent-y months. But it was like after that happens, I was totally like, wow, I left one of the dates where like I was not going to be getting any of the things, and it was so normal to him, and I'm like, I just want to call any of these numbers in my phone and just go bang any of these guys just to be like, yeah, see, this is like, fuck you. I can get this other places. Why are you not trying to do this
Interesting.
with me? And then I caught myself and I was like, oh, I need to think about how I'm
You
reacting.
became that guy, Nicole.
Yeah.
You're becoming that guy.
I
On a
had
scale
to
of 1
I had
10,
to catch myself.
how important is sex?
10.
I'm an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
What's the other 2 points holding back? And what is good sex?
Both of you having fun and just being yourselves.
Is connection.
Please elaborate.
You need to have that connection both sexually but also intimately as well. So you have to have
Yup.
a good fit. For me, it's not necessarily specific to dick size or I hope my mother never listens to this.
Sorry.
Anything along
She
those
cares about dick size too, though. Don't worry.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you're done.
It's nothing along those lines. I just feel like you have to have that connection with someone, but it's not necessarily a deal breaker. I feel like there's more important things in a relationship than just whether or not your sex is like.
I
blowing out of its
understand
mind.
your love language. I am definitely as well more intimate than I am sexual.
There you
I
go.
need touch.
Touch.
Touch is the love language for
Touch.
me. And it doesn't always have to be like penetration station. It's just like I need the intimacy of touch, or to me it's like it's not a relationship, you're just my buddy.
That's how a guy knows if he's in love, by the way. If after I come, I still want you to be there, I love you. That's some real shit.
That's so funny.
And interestingly enough about this connection, I always say that if you think sex begins below the neck, you aren't having good sex.
Oh yeah, totally
No,
wrong.
it's
incorrect. Yeah,
In the brain.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's in the brain.
Insane in the membrane.
Let's do something really quick on how pussy ain't shit, because
Okay.
somehow we
1
had so much
second.
fun. We have to go.
We have
How's
like
pussy
1
not
minute.
Oh, by the way,
literally.
Anessa
Yes.
messaged me to apologize and wanted to meet up and have lunch.
See, well, I'm
But I was
glad.
booked. I had to add that part in there.
Yeah.
But then she canceled 3 times. So I think she thought it was a good thing to do, but then she didn't actually follow
She didn't.
Wait till she
Yeah.
hears the show, then she's gonna really want to meet up.
through. For sure. Yeah, I was saying about the pussy, and I have to comment though on the this is how you become Nicole Arbour. Nicole Arbour currently, which was in a state of sexual frustration because the roles were reversed, and it's hilarious to me. And then another thing I have to learn. But anyway, pussy ain't shit.
Yes.
Is I'm putting out a video about that because I'm just so sick of hearing all these female artists and all these girls online and everybody being like, yeah, my pussy's so good. I got the wettest pussy. I got the tightest pussy. I got the whatever pussy. Your pussy ain't shit. And if you're trying to catch a guy with your vagina lips and then you get heartbroken and end up with a baby and chlamydia, it's your own goddamn fault. Because if all you are is a pussy, then you're going to end up with a dick.
Sure. I love
was
that.
deep.
And we have
Yes.
to watch this
Yes.
video. But I will
Yeah.
say this, there is such a thing as angel pussy. And we're going to have to talk about it because there is some pussy that's amazing. Like it just feels, it's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
it's like it feels like it
it's
was
like a flower
watered
opening.
Yes.
on the top of a mountain in Jerusalem. It's fucking
the
amazing.
top of a- and there are
then some
dicks that
pussies
are
just
better
suck.
too.
I mean, it's just a thing.
Make
but
the sound effect
where
again.
can people find you if you want to be found?
If I want to be found on Instagram, I'm IB Nicole Arbour, letter I, letter B, Nicole Arbour. Facebook, facebook.com/Nicole Arbour fans. And on YouTube, I am Nicole Arbour.
I love it. And what about you, life coach?
Oh, absolutely. You guys can actually also connect through me with on Nicole's accounts. It's probably the easiest way, just to go through her.
I'll be shouting her out a lot
yeah.
in the next little bit.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's what it is. And thank you so much for listening each and every week. Make sure to check out our videos and comment. We love to hear from you. Please tweet us at,
Imperfect G Show.
find us on Facebook and YouTube at,
Imperfect Gentlemen.
And email us at your topic suggestions at
imperfectshow@gmail.com.
That's right. And I am Tehran, literally at I am Tehran, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Tehran, the Don, the Bathrobe Heartthrob. You can find me at I am Tehran all across the board. And I'm with my boy,
GK Supreme, that's good karma, great knowledge, George Corey, at Mr. George Corey. Tehran, spell the last name.
and that's KHOURI for all of you out there. He has a fetish about that. And we
do.
are Imperfect Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
Remember,
Happy
nobody's
200th
perfect
episode.
but us.
200.
That's right.
Thank you.
200.
200 P.
We did it.
We love it.
We
Martin
did it.
on the boards. Check them out.